Sorry. Okay, we're back for more Honkai Impact 3. Okay. Let's go on to the next in case. Where is it? Where is it? Is it? In inconspicuous thing are more because the murder is like a red string intertwined with the uneventful entanglement in relations. And what I need to do is sort it out from the facts and expose it. Let's split into groups then. Maphead and I can lead the repair group. Tesla suggested. After her encounter with the Phantom, she seemed more determined to prioritize fixing the security system. I don't think it's a good idea. Joey is in no condition to go anywhere. One of us has to stay here and take care of him. I'll go with you, Dr. Tesla. I've studied the basic theory of the anti-entropy system. It'd be easier for you if you have an assistant around. Sounds good, but you're injured. Don't you need more rest? It was just a minor sprain. Don't worry. Can I look at her? Ooh, look at her. Don't push yourself too hard, Bronya. I can go with Dr. Tesla. It's okay, Sensei. Your research is mainly about biology. When it comes to engineering, I can be more helpful. Should go with them. Countless Honkai beasts are wandering in the safe zone. They'll need your protection. With you around, even if the Phantom comes again, you'll at least be help them escape. I was thinking the same thing. Miss Fua has been very helpful. Fine with me. And about the Phantom, actually, I had collected some data of it during my last encounter with it. Maphead will try to analyze the data. Maybe we'll be able to find its weakness. I know what's its weakness. Alright. Now that the members of the repair group is decided, the rest can start researching the mansion now. It's like Raven won't stop until she turns this place upside down. Would have thought she really cares about the child. After Sora went missing, I resorted to some methods that I didn't want to use to investigate Raven's past. It turns out, after she retired, she adopted many orphans with the money she earned as a mercenary, and Sora was one of them. Oh, big heart, big heart. Orphans adopted by a former mercenary? Sounds juicy. All preparations are done. Bronya, Miss Fua, let's go. Be careful, Bronya. I will, Sensei. Take this transceiver. I've adapted it for remote communication even in areas with high Honkai energy. Dr. Tesla shoved a transceiver that looks like a regular phone into my hand and hurried out. Bronya followed her out, who I walked out to after she gave me a nod. Let's begin the search then. The murderer might be still in this building, so try not to act alone at any time. Don't worry, Doctor. I won't let anything happen to you. Oh, thank you. Geoffrey obediently walked up to Einstein and gently grabbed her sleeves, probably out of fear. Raven should have searched every corner of the basement and the first floor. Let's go to the second floor. Okay, the mission starts. Let's do this. Oh, Raven acted much faster than we expected. When we got upstairs, most of the rooms were wide open, including Dr. Tesla and Dr. Einstein. I handed her the master key. I could tell from her face that if I said no, it would get physical really fast. Sensing our doubt, Dr. Einstein shrugged with a bitter smile. But now it's crystal clear to me how much Sora means to Raven. Oh, that's right. Sora is about to be. No, don't be like that. Don't be like that. In this room, how panicked she is right now. Ahem, I'm afraid there might be a slight misunderstanding about your observation, Doctor. Sorry, I'm a bit sleepy. This is Dr. Tesla's room, and the mess may have nothing to do with Raven. Dr. Einstein crouched down to pick up the scattered papers all over the floor and put them away into a drawer. Such an inappropriate remark for a lady's personal space. You surely are quite inconsiderate, Doctor. The woman beside me couldn't let any chance to mock me slip by. The taunt was relentless. We followed the corridor and found every room searched thoroughly and hastily. And then end of the corridor was the last room, where Welt Joyce took his last breath. As we walked in, we caught Raven smashing the wall with her bare fist. Damn it! It's only logical to assume no trace of Sora or her abductor was found here. Not knowing how to comfort her, I looked to the other two ladies into the room for help. But to my despair, both of them looked away, silently telling me to face the music. I let out a deep sigh before walking up and sticking myself before Raven. A gloating voice came from behind my back. Don't worry, I'll make sure you come out of this alive. Hint. Do I search this? Just through. I already searched this. Let's try again. No new preference on the window. Oh, sorry. Of course, I was overthinking. Okay. Raven. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Raven kept hammering the wall, venting out her anger and frustration. Miss Raven. I walked to her and hesitated for a moment before calling her attention. As if startled by my presence, she suddenly turned around and grabbed me by the collar. It was you! You stopped me! There's nothing here in this damn house. If it weren't for you... You spoke true. Yes, it was me, and Sora is not here, but I told you clearly that it was merely a possibility. And you chose to stay because you believe in this possibility. I understand how you feel now, but blind rage gets you nowhere. Realizing she was losing control, Raven's face went pale, and she slowly let go of my collar. I promised to cure her. I promised. If something should happen to her, taking her here would be the biggest mistake I've made. As if exhausted from the wall hammering, she slowly stepped back while muttering to herself. Seeing her finally calm down, I sighed in a relief. But just then, cure her? How would you do that? Is that how you convince yourself to get into this inheritance fight? The moment I saw that little girl, I knew she was badly corrupted by Honkai energy. No way it was caused naturally. You think doing this will cleanse all your sins? Are you truly in this for her or just for yourself? Stop it! No, don't do that, Einstein. The heart-rending situation seemed to be taking a toll on Dr. Einstein's nerves as well. Her sharp words cut deep into Raven's heart like a knife and fueled her rage even more. Stop acting like you got nothing to do with this. Damn you, scientist! Raven went ballistic in an instant. Watch out! Before I could alert Dr. Einstein, Raven had already got to her. Clang! Bang! Two sounds were heard at the same time, and the next instant, everyone froze. Where do I go? Got it? Damn you scientists! Raven went ballistic in an instant. Watch out! I already clang. Miss Adler acted fast and Miss Adler acted fast and blocked Raven's attack from the side. Ping! Meanwhile, to dodge Raven's attack, the ancient took a step back and fell upon the bookshelf behind. Stay the hell out of my way. Sorry, I cannot abide. After all, this hero is one of the very few people I could see eye to eye with. Oh, what's this? I followed her eyes. It's a pile of paper notes, neatly stapled together. The color of the papers varied from the top to bottom. The top looked yellowish from aging. As Miss Adler bent down to pick them up, I thought I saw a brief moment of hesitation on Dr. Einstein's face. This is... Oh, what? Doctor, you have to see this. A lead coming from nowhere. Coming from nowhere? I chewed on her words as she handed them to me. I knew that she meant, but I decided to play along for now. Investigation on the Saint Fountain Catastrophe by Welt Joyce. I didn't even need to finish reading the title to know how important the notes were. Apparently, they were written casually in first person and not intended for publishing. My ass came through the keywords quickly. The situation can hardly get any worse. I don't know who I can trust. Maybe Tesla and Einstein only. At the beginning, I only wanted to know the whereabouts of the two kids. The forbidden experiments has borne fruit and someone has to answer for it. I feel obligated. I found one of them. Her psychological reading are stable, but I have to end all of this. Started with me and has to end with me. This is destined to happen. ... I still can't find the other one. Church leaders are behind the experiments and the lab data are well protected. But somehow I found the lead, a broker supplying materials for the experiments. ... Materials. Seeing this word I wrote a month back makes me sick now. This broker is nothing but a human smuggler. To avert attention, these poor materials were transferred many times, but they all end up in Saint Fountain. If only all of this was just a nightmare. Flames devoured everything and leak Honkai energy turned innocent men into monsters. What have they done? It's been a week since the catastrophe, but the cause remains unknown. Just to be the Forsaken experiments. I adopted a girl in the orphanage that survived because she was transferred before it happened. I'm glad I did this. That was Bronya. Every lead was burned to the ground and I almost gave up. But now I finally found something about the broker. He's the one who sourced orphan children as lab rats for them to test on. He's going to lead me to the others involved and eventually Om 2. No one knows his real name, but they call him the Grey Serpent. Oh no. This was the very last sentence written in with such force that the ink almost pierced through. I look upon and Raven's eyes. Her pale face now looked eerily calm and huge contrast with the hysteria before. Grey Serpent. So he had gone this far. Looks like a proper explanation is in order, Dr. Einstein. What is Om 2? What was it that Mr. Joyce had been searching for all these years? This is supposed to be a top secret of Lab 42, Doctor. I can tell you, but not here and now. She eyed Raven while speaking. Yes, it was not the best occasion or the best audience. Besides, finding Sora is our top priority at the moment. Indeed, now that it's established Grey Serpent isn't in the manor, we should expand our search to the vicinity. Joachim is running analysis on the phantom data in the lab, and Joey's status requires me to stay close. That leaves the searching to me, Miss Adler, and Conan Doyle. I'll have a word with you. As I was still baffled by her sudden calmness, she threw this at me and walked out abruptly. Well, well, looks like I've underestimated your charm, Doctor. Something told me the conversation wasn't going to be romantic in any remote manner. Okay? Oh, wait. Wait. Why is the camera all... What? Oh, I'm pressing E instead of W. What do you want? So what can I do for you, Miss Raven? Tut. Raven glanced at Miss Adler behind me and took a long pause before handing me something. I unfolded the paper handed over and found an address written on it. This is the Roost, an orphanage facility I founded. After this, I want you to find someone reliable to run it for me. But why leaving it to someone else's care? If I can walk out of this alive, simply ignore what I just told you. Well then, why me? Because you're a detective, and with a fact check, anyone can be your client. I happen to have enough saving to interest you. You seem adamant in believing you'll meet your end here, and the reason is... I'm not sure if I'll die here, just planning for the worst. I still doubt if it was the Grey Serpent that killed Jackal and took Sora. He doesn't have a motive. I know Joy's notes are true, because I was there, and I played a part in the experiments. Tut. Grey Serpent was sourcing suitable materials, and my job was to deliver them in one piece. And the tests on human subjects were run by Jackal, right? Right. Then Mr. Joachim, who was managing the church back then, was also involved. Oh, how do you know about the church? It's simple. These many children in St. Fountain would have attracted a lot of eyes, but no one questioned the church. And before it was turned into a manor, this church has quite a good name of caring for orphans from other places. You're right. The orphans were the materials. Ouch. Why do you scientists keep doing that? But Joachim, he was kept in the dark all along until it happened. He seemed to really care about the kids. I see. Last question. You said you didn't believe Grey Serpent was the murderer, but why are you... Because I saw Joy's notes. Obviously, he had something on Grey Serpent. So Mr. Joyce must die, of course. The failed test most likely caused the disaster. Everyone involved were supposed to take the secret to their graves. But someone kept digging. After killing Mr. Joyce, Grey Serpent decided to tie up and all loose ends for good. Exactly, and now my turn has come. Sora has nothing to do with all this. Grey Serpent took her only to get to me. So you're now prepared to face Grey Serpent yourself. It's the only way to save Sora. If I got killed, Sora, you... I could tell her inner struggling. She wasn't the type to beg for a favor. Don't do anything rash. We want Sora to be safe too. Let's work together to find Grey Serpent and her. Raven tried to say something, but she didn't. She turned around and walked to the elevator. To be safe, I didn't tell Dr. Einstein and Joachim what Raven said. I only briefed them instead. We then followed Raven out of the manor. Mr. George, are you coming with us? Yes, I want to make sure Bronya is okay. Alright, the transceiver that Dr. Tesla gave us. Let's call them and see what they've found. But before I could turn on the transceiver, a wild roar came. What? Honkai beasts are showing up this close to the mansion now? Ah, annoying beasts. Let's get rid of them quick. Sure. Eh? Raven seemed to have noticed something unusual and dashed off in a flash. Don't act alone, Raven. Whoa, those monsters came so fast. It's a good opportunity to show us the power of your Bartitsu moves, Doctor. Yeah, where's the doctor? Where's the doctor? So there's Raven. Ooh, dodge that. Dodge that. I didn't dodge that. Oh, I keep messing up. Fight that. Oh, got it. Alright, last boss. Wait, what? Tangto. Phew! At long last. Where's Raven? It was too chaotic. I think she left at some point. Well, as long as we're all looking for Sora, I believe we'll run into each other again. Tusk. She's a lone bird, so just let her be. The same buzz came up from everyone's comlink. It's from Frederica. We exchanged looks and pressed the answer button. We got a problem. Bronya. Uh-oh. Oh my god, that lag. Wait, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, is that Raven? No. No, don't do that. Phew! First node rebooted. Bronya, Miss Fua, let's go straight to the next. Tat. Miss Bronya, Dr. Tesla is talking to you. Huh? I'm sorry, Dr. Tesla. What did you just say? Is everything okay? I was just wondering why the cut of this node looks so familiar. Familiar? Yes, I'm very interested in mechanical engineering, especially the development of weapon systems. This cut doesn't look like it was caused by Honkai beasts, rather it looks like damage caused by firearms. I think so too. State-of-the-art model to be precise. This is weird. We gotta be more careful from now on. If my conjecture is unfortunately correct, then we are in big trouble. Should I choose Bronya? Let's see. That's it! The second pivot node, let me check. Whoa, they sure know how to damage it, but it doesn't matter. I still can fix it. Bronya, prepare replacement parts. Okay, Dr. Tesla. Howl! These damn Honkai beasts again? The timing is just perfect. Dr. Tesla, please focus on the repair. I'll handle them. To speed it up, I'll have to pull up something special. Ainz, it's your time to shine now. Whoosh! Shotgun. Oh, I have to protect them. I need a more I need a more agile. That has a what is that? Okay, for the record, I don't know how to use her ultimate. Sorry for those FUA players out there. I'll look at that on YouTube, promise. Ow. I'm long pressing the ultimate and I don't know how to use it. See, I don't know how to use it. Second node rebooted. Well done, Dr. Tesla. But the cut on this node also looks. I can only think of one organization with this kind of superior weaponry in Saint Fountain. But what on earth happened here? We'd better go fix the last node ASAP, Dr. Tesla. I agree. Let's go. Oh my god, so much, what is it called? So much emotions. No, don't do this. After hearing backstory of Raven, she's more like supposed to be alive until the end. So please keep her alive. The last node is right over there. It seems we're lucky this time. No annoying Honkai beasts anymore. Wait. What's wrong, Miss Hua? My intuition tells me something isn't right. You're saying... After the security system fell, we have encountered swarm of Honkai beasts. But this area is unbelievably clear, which I don't consider to be normal. But we have to fix the last node to reboot the security system. Even if this area is dangerous, we still have to go across it. I'll go have a look first. You stay here, Dr. Tesla. I agree with Miss Hua. You're the key to restoring the security system. If anything happened to you, even if Miss Hua and I could make it to the last node, it'd be all pointless. If you both think I should stay here, Miss Hua, I'll go with you. Are you able to protect yourself? Yes, don't underestimate me. Okay. I won't underestimate you. But I need the firepower and you're slow. Oh, what the fuck is that? It's a fucking Iron Man. Hi. Wow. Where are you aiming at, bro? Nightmare Module G2. Oops. Oops. Wait, what? Wait, what? What? Oh no! Uh-oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Dool gambang. Nay! Adoy. Wait. Interlude. Oh, we're almost in the finale. Breathing turns out to be quite an effort. No! Raven! For fuck's sakes! People tend to ignore common things. But when there is a gash in the throat, breathing, which is the most common action, becomes a luxury. Okay, give this moment, say your words to Raven. She's a good woman and a good sensei. Even though she's a mercenary and kill people, she has a good heart after retiring. She pressed her fingers against the gash, trying to stop the bleeding, which proved futile. Her hand feebly dropped down. The agony of suffocation even exceeded the pain of the wound. She struggled to turn her head to look at the body on the ground near her in the heavy rain. It was the reason why she ended up like this. Violence had been with her since childhood. Accomplishing mission used to be the only theme of her life. At least that child can go on a different life path. This, though, used to be her strength of will. But now, light footsteps softly approached. Someone was writing something beside her, with the blood that was gushing from her wound. Why? She asked her soundlessly. She could no longer make any noise. Why? The writer did not stop, but responded with a peculiar smile. Tatatat. Her pale lips slowly closed. Warm teardrops fell down her cold cheeks. Raven cries came from afar. I'm so sad. I don't feel bad about Jackal, but I feel bad about Raven. Tesla! Expert Snoop! Wait, what? Ha! What an ingenious nickname. What happened? Tesla, you said Bronya. What happened to her? Calm down, she's fine, at least for now. For now? Dr. Tesla, please be straightforward in this kind of emergency. Then let Bronya speak to you for herself. Eins, connect Bronya. Doctor, Miss Adler. In a word, Miss Fua and I encountered unknown enemies and fell in their ambush. Miss Fua is resisting the enemies, though they cannot severely hurt us for now. We are indeed outnumbered. Ambush? As the intelligence of Honkai Beast evolved to this level? I'm afraid it's not Honkai Beast. While Miss Bronya was talking, there were faint sounds of gunshots and explosions. Honkai Beasts do not use firearms. Then what is happening? Is the missing Valkyrie squad? Yes, it's the Valkyrie squad that lost contact in the mission of hunting the Phantom. Though we don't know why, their hostility towards you two alone justifies our counterattack. But if it's possible, please don't take their lives. Dr. Tesla, they all well equipped. We are in no place to pull our punches. Don't worry, leave that to me. I happen to know a few tricks that can manipulate people's minds. I can paralyze them without hurting them. Then guess I'll have to trouble you to join the fight, Miss Adler. I have a plan. Time is against us. Tell me about it on the way. Okay. Oh, we're not gonna kill them. We're just gonna bruise them to death. What? No, don't tell me it crashed. F. I cannot see the hint word. I hate these girls. Ow! Where's the hammer girl? Abunda! This is the missing Valkyries. Wow. Okay, we're done. They're all dead. Oh, it's Sora! Sora! Doctor, look! Wait. No. These are dead Valkyries. I think I once saw the weapon that killed them. It's Raven. I fought her once. It cannot be mistaken. Seems like she clashed with the Valkyrie squad here, and she didn't treat them too kindly. Wait, I think I saw someone. That's Sora. That. Sora! Oh no, Sora's not looking... she's always like that. No, but she's sad. She looks weird. Let's go and check out. Be careful, Grey Serpent could be lurking somewhere. But after we got to the corner, the horrible view before our eyes was beyond words. No! No! Please, no! This is... Oh, don't pause it here. I don't want to look at her. In a deep shock, Sora was curled up in near the wall and trembling all over. In the direction she faced, we found Raven's cold body. The woman I talked to moments ago was now sitting against the wall, bathed in blood. All life was gone from her eyes. Raven is dead too? There's something written on the wall. The wall Raven leaned against. We saw the scarlet word, Rage, written in fresh blood. Not again. Revenge. Eh? It wasn't until then I noticed something else lying at her feet, another body. Everyone else soon caught up to it. That's Grey Serpent. None of us could believe our own eyes. Grey Serpent was killed too. Raven and him did this to each other. I bent down to check Raven's body and found a fatal knife wound on her neck, cutting her artery wide open. I then checked Grey Serpent and found a similar neck wound, but somehow there was another puncture wound on his back. Wound. Why? I fell into a long silence and what was shared by everyone else. So many emotions. That's so sad. I looked to the only eyewitness. Joachim and Bronya had helped her up. She was in a trace and her face was devoid of any emotion. Sora, can you hear me? Sora made no response, as if she was a soundless puppet. Raindrops kept hitting her eyes, but she didn't even blink. Why? Why would you do that? Why? F in the chat. Why would you do that? Them legs! I slowly soaked my body in hot water. So refreshing. Okay, I need to get my face up. Then I heard the sound of a long exhalation coming from the transceiver. Tired already? This is not like you, Mr. Detective. The Mr. Detective I know always conducts himself with grace no matter what difficulties he faces. I'm sorry, Mr. Reader, but fiction and reality are actually two different things. Anyway, do we really have to talk through this thing? Wait, what? Several hours have passed since Raven's and Grey Serpent bodies were found. After we managed to carry the two bodies back, everyone got drenched to the skin. Sora is still in a state of stupor. Dr. Aston put her in a room to rest. It's late at night. We're all exhausted, anxious, and uncomfortably wet. Before planning the next move, what everyone needs is a hot bath. But before that, I have something to do. I found Dr. Doyle, who is lost in thought alone in the hall. Do you have a minute, Doctor? What can I do for you, Miss Adler? I'd like to talk. I'd like to talk to you in a private, but not in here. I dangled a small, delicate device before his eyes. Dr. Teslaton's river, I see. As private as possible. Well then, talk to you later. I left a meaningful smile and turned to my room. Wow, the bathtub is filled with hot water. I tried the temperature. I slipped out of my bathrobe and slowly sunk into the bathtub. After transitory enjoyment of this small, warm paradise, I turned on my transceiver. I casually splashed water in the bathtub. The gentleman on the other end of the line didn't make me wait too long. Are you taking a bath, Miss Adler? I answered his question with a steamy chuckle, and we started to talk in this unusual atmosphere. Alright, what do you want to talk, Miss Adler? I'd like to hear your opinion on this case. You must have discovered some clues. Talking about thoughts with other makes it easier to sort them out, isn't it? There was a short silence. Oh, he must be debating whether or not to lay the cards he holds on the table. I thought so with a smirk. I'm not asking you to hear your opinion for free. Mr. Detective, my conjectures may help you too. This is a fair exchange. Alright then. Regarding this murder, my biggest question is the murderer really among us? Wow. The reason why you have this question is because of Grey Serpent, isn't it? Yes, according to Raven, Grey Serpent knew he was found out by Mr. Joyce, that he had been involved in. Then human experiments conducted in Saint Fountain before the catalysm. So he killed him to seal his lips. Jackal and Raven were also part of this, so Grey Serpent got rid of them to spare himself any future troubles. The logic behind this assumption seems flawless in terms of why done it. Okay. But if you put more carefully thought into it, you will find a paradox. The word written with blood. Correct. Rage. Revenge. Wait. This word appeared at both at the crime scenes. Wait. I'm good. If it wasn't a message left by the victim, that it must be written by the murderer out of some kind of rituality. The situations of the crime scenes obviously agree with the latter assumption. Yes, the murderer has been declared her motive to all of us by leaving that scarlet word. If Grey Serpent was the murderer, then Rage would make no sense. I see, you have completely crossed Grey Serpent off. Can't say that for sure now, but at least the two murders defy the hypothesis of Grey Serpent being the murderer. What's more, according to the scene of Grey Serpent and Raven's death, neither of them could have written that word on the wall, no matter who died first. I think you're right. There was no word written on the wall. I would assumption that they both died after a fierce fight. It's obvious that the murderer never intended to hide. She left the word to flaunt the progress of her revenge. Leave aside the motive. There's something unusual about the wound on Grey Serpent's back. I've checked it. It's a fatal heart injury. There's no way he could lurk around for days and fight a former mercenary to death. I'm surprised that he could even move. The degree of decomposition suggested that he's been dead for several days. A dead man had been walking around and committing murders? Ha! This is just becoming a ghost story. Trust me, Irene, I know corpses very well. And that's why I started to wonder if I should still treat this case as a normal serial murder. If logic is no longer with us, I don't know how I should continue my deduction. I slightly adjusted my posture in the bathtub and the water rippled. He certainly wouldn't believe what I just said. But I believe when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. What if we look at it from a different angle? Revenge. Who would hate those victims this much? Then we must look at the common experiences of the victims. A few hours ago, we just heard of a past that involves Jackal, Grey Serpent, and Raven. Human experiments on orphans, and the cause of the catalysm, they were all guilty of this, directly or indirectly. Let's assume for a moment that there's someone who lost everything in the catalysm, but somehow survived. Then this person would both be the victim and the witness of the tragedy, who knows everything about it. Bronya, the child, has a motive to seek revenge on them. Wait a second. I remember Jackal and Raven were invited by Mr. Joachim to help Bronya get her bequeathment. But what if the legacy is just a bait from the very beginning? So Jackal coveted Mr. Joy's research data while Raven was trying to find cures for Sora. And what Grey Serpent wanted was Jackal's and Raven's lives. I see, it was a remarkable efficient bait. I paused for a moment and gave a sudden chuckle. Sounds logical, but you miss one thing, Mr. Detective. Joachim and Bronya both had perfect alibis. They were with us when the murders happened. Yes, how done it? This is what has been baffling me. My intuition tells me there's a paranormal involvement in this case, which all my learning has been forcing my brain to ignore. I guess the legendary Holmes is just a fictional character after all. I see my deduction didn't score highly, Irene. I stood up from the water without making any remarks. Then bubbles in my bathtub are running out. I have to go. But cheer up, Doctor. I think you are getting closer to the truth. Okay, last two. The fragment. Okay, when is this? 2 days. So it's October. It's 26, 27, 28. It's Monday. Okay. Right. Diary. I DMM year. Day, month, year. When I first saw Joffrey, I couldn't find a word to express my surprise. At last, the only thing that I came out was he's a dead ringer for him. A boring, objective description, but accurate. But today I was informed that he wasn't perfect and needed further modification. And if the modification failed, he'd have to be eliminated. There's no way for me to know in my current position what the modification would be. Perhaps it's because it's my first participation in a medical research project of this level. I had this feeling that if Joffrey is eliminated, my personal value would also be denied. So I applied to participate in the modification. The institute has a affiliated orphanage that has taken in many ill children who have been regularly visited by doctors, which would make a perfect cover-up place for the modification. Geoffrey would be temporarily living there, and I have also been dispatched to the orphanage as a teacher and a supervisor. To me, this is a new task that is completely different from my previous colorless research. Diary 2. Date, month, and year. As a newcomer, Geoffrey was unsurprisingly picked on by the older kids. To my surprise, Geoffrey only resembles that man in appearance. He is so coward and timid, which makes me wonder if that's the reason why the Institute decided to modify him. Just when I was hesitating over to intervene, a child named Bronya stood out and drove away the bullies. Oh, it was Bronya and her little best friend Silly. Silly is also a timid child, but she's just a sweet little girl. Yeah, she's sweet. I didn't mean in a bad way. A few days later, I noticed that the three kids become inseparable. Another few days later, Silly started to call Geoffrey Joey, and soon everyone started to call him that. Things have been doing well. I'll report this to the Institute. Diary 3. Date, month, and year. How many diary is it? Nice weather today. I applied for permission to take the children on a field trip, under the Institute's monitoring, of course. Actually, the so-called field was just a small patch of land covered in grass and wild flowers near the orphanage. Silly made a flower wreath for me when she put it on my head, and when I was enfolded by the children's shackles, I felt I was treading on air. I kept forgetting who I am lately. It felt like I had always been their sensei from the very beginning. I think this is Joachim. But the frequent modifications publicly claimed to be a special treatment to Joey kept reminding me. Everything I do and experience here is just part of my task. Diary 4. After today's treatment, I found Joey's body turned insubstantial for a short period. What have they done to him? I couldn't restrain my anger. I confronted Jackal about this. She said the modification and debugging have ended, and now is the testing. Modification, debugging, testing. I just realized that we have been using these cold words on a little boy. Jackal reminded me again to remain objective and calm as I researched her, but I think she was just warning me not to go against the... After I sent Joey back, Bronya came in the evening and told me she wanted to talk to me tomorrow. She's always been an emotional and reserved child, but I can read some of her emotions after all this time. It was furry. Her eyes were blazing with fury. It was fury, okay. Sorry, I read it by the furry. Sorry. Diary 5. Bronya fell from the stairs and was sent to hospitalize. Still in a coma, but the doctor says she's fine and will wake up soon. I didn't tell Silly and Joey about this. I told them Bronya didn't feel well and needed to be hospitalized for a few days, because I don't want to alarm them, and I somehow feel this whole thing is suspicious. I think Bronya was trying to talk to me about Joey. I think she found out there was something unusual going on. I don't think she has talked to anyone other than me about it. She came to me just last night, which means someone else is watching us. Someone pushed Bronya. Damn it! Diary 6. I secretly took some medicine to test the ingredients and found out that most of them didn't match the records at all. Vitamin C tablets, starch capsules, glucose solution. Some of the medicines are just placebos. Wait, what? The institute hasn't been giving treatment to all the ill children. They have let children's health deteriorate. What frightened me even more was that I figured out their intention is an instant. Some of the experiments were designed to collect data on the disease development without treatment. Some were designed to find out what difference the treatment would make. Some were designed to test the effects of placebos in follow-up treatment. The whole thing was a pack of lies. At this place, those children are subjects, materials, data, everything but not patients, not human beings who fell ill. And Joey, a seriously ill boy, was probably the only healthy child here. But now he has been modified into a patient for the experiment. And I still haven't figured out what the experiment is about. Oh, no, 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 no. One morning, Geoffrey woke up and found himself turned into a giant beetle. In the mirror, he saw his sham body, hard elytra, and 6 legs. Geoffrey, get dressed and come down for breakfast. He heard someone calling him. It was not Bronya or Silly. It's one of the doctors. Geoffrey remembered he didn't go back to the orphanage last night, but was taken to the observation ward. He awkwardly dragged his 6 legs to run downstairs, but lost balance and rolled down the stairs. Geoffrey walked into the cafeteria. There were many doctors walking around, but no one cast a look at him. Breakfast was fried sausages and orange juice. The sausages were crispy with cheese inside, but tasted like medicine to Geoffrey. It's because I'm a beetle now. Geoffrey looked at the sausages in his plate in confusion. He missed the beef patties seasoned with rosemary that Bronya used to make. She grew the rosemary herself. Bronya's beef patties never taste like medicine. Geoffrey thought so, smacking his lips. The doctors were still walking around. Geoffrey raised his hands. Excuse me, but I think I turned into a beetle. One of the doctors came to him. It was the lady with long black hair. Beetles don't eat sausages, said the doctor. After breakfast, Sensei came to pick Geoffrey up in the car. Geoffrey asked him, "Do you think I look like a beetle, Sensei?" "What are you talking about, silly?" Sensei responded without even looking back. Geoffrey looked at himself in the car window. He was still a beetle. Why couldn't they see? Can I be a doctor as a bee? Can I be a doctor as a beetle? Geoffrey hesitated for a moment and asked again. Sensei cast a glance at him in the rear view mirror and said, "Do you have a nightmare? I'll adjust your dosage. We can talk about the beetle things when we..." Geoffrey snuck in through the back door and went upstairs with his 6 legs, which was easier than going downstairs. He knocked on the door of Silly's room with one of his legs. "Silly, it's me, Geoffrey." The door opened a crack. Silly ran out and burst into tears the instant she saw him. "What have they done to you?" Silly can see my changes. Geoffrey was happy and upset at the same time. "What should I do? I'm a beetle now, but no one seems to notice. Have I always been a beetle that no one cares about?" "I care about you, Joey. So does Bronya. We both care about you very much. You're important to us," said Silly. "Then can I still be a human?" "I'll figure out how to turn you back, Joey. Trust me." Seeing Silly's tears streaming down her face, Geoffrey felt sad. Silly stood on tiptoe and stroked his giant head. I'll figure out. I figured it out. There must be a way to turn you back. Joffrey became taller than Silly after he turned into a beetle. He had always wished to grow taller, so that he'd be able to protect his too big. What? The sentence that didn't she finish. Oh no. So maybe turning into a beetle wasn't so bad, though he still preferred to be a human boy. Go get some sleep. Maybe you feel better later. Joffrey nodded obediently and went back to his own room. When Joffrey woke up again, he found that he was no longer a beetle. He cheerfully got off of bed, put on his little shirt that Silly mended for him, and his favorite gray pants. That's right, I'm Joffrey, a human boy, not a beetle. He opened the door and saw the doctor with long black hair and Sensei. They looked stunned when they saw him. Joffrey didn't understand why they were so shocked. He started to run faster and faster. He didn't know why he could run so fast, as he still had the six. Can't I scroll this down? No. No, I can't. Okay, sorry. He just wanted to see Silly and tell her, Joffrey is no longer a beetle. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Sorry, this episode was a little upside down and turned down. Okay, leave a like. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. Bye.